Do you need to be certified in order to be an herbalist? This is the #1 question I get. So I'm going to share the 4 things you need to know about herbal certification and education that will help you choose the path that's right for you. I'm Selima Harleston Lust, clinical herbalist, and I've taught over 6,000 people how to use herbs skillfully and confidently, and I train aspiring herbalists in my signature program, Herbal Medicine for the Soul. I get asked this question all the time, so in this video, I'm excited to share with you exactly what you need to know about herbal certification in the United States. So #1, if you're thinking about becoming an herbalist, here is the deal on how things work in the US. Unlike many other countries where herbalism is a licensed healthcare professional, we don't have federal licensing requirements or any unifying accrediting body for herbalists. It is not a licensed healthcare modality in the United States. And this is largely because conventional medicine, pharmaceutical approaches dominate our healthcare system. So here's what this means for you. This is an unregulated landscape, and it has upsides, it has downsides. The good is that you have tons of freedom in how you practice and approach herbalism. There's no bureaucratic red tape dictating your methods or your educational path. You can blend different herbal traditions with modern research, however this makes sense to you. It's easier to get started compared to other healthcare fields. The challenges are that insurance is not going to cover your services. Clients will always pay out of pocket. There's no standard for education or professional requirements. So that means clients might have trouble figuring out if you're qualified or even figuring out what to expect from your services and practices. And then pricing is all over the map for each herbalist. There's no standard structure. And then you're gonna have to figure out your own legal protections, your insurances, to make sure that you're safe and your clients are safe. And lastly, since there's no governing body setting the rules, you'll really need to take charge of several important things, like getting good at this. So finding solid training programs like Herbal Medicine for the Soul, connecting with experienced mentors, and make sure you keep learning. Your education is really up to you, so choose wisely. You're also going to have to set your own standards for practicing ethically. Know your limits. Be very clear about what you can and can't help with, and always be upfront with clients about your services. And then running your own business, herbalism is super entrepreneurial. You're going to have to figure out how to set your own pricing, create clear agreements with clients, develop your own professional standards that work for everyone, and staying legal. Learn what you can and can't do legally in your state. We are not pretending to be doctors. It's really important. So there's quite a bit of research that you'll have to undertake in this path. #2, what do the certification programs you see out there, like mine, Herbal Medicine for the Soul, actually offer? Since there is no licensing body, understand that every program that's offering a certificate is offering a certificate of completion, a certificate that's saying you completed and successfully demonstrated the requirements of this specific program. Some people find that valuable, some people don't. If it's important to you, I think that having a certificate demonstrates to your clientele that you'll be working with that you are a serious student of this work, and this does set you apart from the folks who attend Google University, YouTube University, or some 2-hour or 2-day course and suddenly they're doling out health recommendations. That's really dangerous. You know, those people ultimately are not qualified, certificate or not. I would love to be able to tell you that all certificate programs or even all herbal programs are the same or offer the same level of training, but they simply don't because there's no standards, remember? And remember that certification doesn't necessarily translate to skill, to confidence, to capability. Herbalism requires not just years of study for the plants, but also integration, embodiment of this work, and honestly, only you know when you're there. So comment below and let me know if certification matters to you and why. Struggling with a health issue that just won't budge? You want a holistic path, you're even thinking about becoming an herbalist, but you need real guidance. Let's talk. Book a free call with me and we'll figure out your next right step, whether it's a private consultation or one of my signature programs like Herbal Medicine for the Soul. So if you're ready to feel better and live on purpose, click the link and schedule your free call today. Let's get you aligned and moving forward. #3, So this leads to the next point, which is if you want to work professionally in this field, what should your herbal training consist of? And here's what you need to understand, that as an herbalist, you are not just an herbalist. You are not someone who just knows plants. If you just want to study plants, go study botany, plant biology. But herbalism is all about the relationship, the connection, and the interaction between plants and people, or plants and animals if you're working with our furry friends, which is a thing. Understanding herbs is complex all by itself, and to your ever-growing knowledge about plants, you're adding your understanding of the body, the many layers of disease and disease progression, and the complexity of just being a person in the modern world, understanding that everything in someone's life contributes to one of two things, their illness or their wellness. So as an herbalist, you can't just give someone a formula and say, go forth and prosper, if you don't understand the importance of some of these factors like diet, nutrition, any supplements they're taking, drugs, of course, that they're taking, so that you can understand herb-drug interactions, their movement practices, their trauma, someone's mindset and their self-talk. What's their emotional baseline? What is your client's beliefs about health and well-being? And what are their health goals? What's their body type and their constitution? Does a person have the capacity to care for themselves in this season of their life? What are their relationships like? Their work, their hobbies? Do they have joyful and playful outlets? And of course, their environment and their emotional connection to their physical conditions. And of course, symptoms, medical diagnoses, surgeries, hospitalizations, medications, medical history, lab results, so much that you really need to understand. So as an herbalist, you're also a researcher, a teacher, a coach, a student, forever student, a medicine maker, maybe a manufacturer. You may be a gardener, farmer, a cultivator as well. And that's not to mention the personal practices that you, because it isn't a licensed field, you have the freedom to add to your work, like Reiki, other energy healing modalities, massage, crystal therapy, homeopathy, yoga, and other somatic practices, doula work, astrology. I incorporate medical astrology hugely into my practice and inside of herbal medicine for the soul. And of course, there is the growing population of licensed practitioners like doctors, nurses, functional practitioners, psychiatrists, and therapists who are studying herbalism and integrating it into their work. So to give an example of why this information is important, if you're working with someone who isn't sleeping well, you want to know why. It's likely a number of things. It could be because they are stressed about work or something else going on in their life. Maybe they play violent shooter games right before bed. Maybe they experience incontinence or sleep apnea, or maybe they're on a medication that's disrupting their circadian rhythm. There are so many things that contribute to every physical condition. So simply giving them your tea, your tincture, and saying, go forth and sleep well, it's helpful and it may help, but it's just a small percentage of what's really going on with them. And you want to understand why and what are the factors that are contributing to their disrupted sleep. Whatever the issue is, without understanding it, your tincture or your tea could actually, in some cases, do more harm than help. So at the very least, you need to know how to ask the right questions so that you can choose the right formulation and choose the right practices that set your clients up for success. Now, this doesn't mean you need to be an expert on all the things, because that's impossible, but just remember that herbalism is at its core about addressing the whole person. And then number 4, so where the heck are herbalists getting all of this training and learning all of these skills from? This is your practice. This is your path. The most common ways that people study herbalism are through 1, self-study, 2, apprenticeships and mentorships through private herbal programs like ours, Herbal Medicine for the Soul, 3, through degree programs in the herbal sciences, phytotherapy, maybe acupuncture. There is no wrong choice here. Again, this is your path and your practice. One key point that I want to emphasize for you is that no matter where you choose to study, you are always going to need to study more and learn additional skills. In every instance, you are going to self-study and you're going to take more classes and you're going to buy more books. Why is this? Because you're always going to have new questions. As you work with more people, as you make more medicine, as you get introduced to other healing systems and modalities, and of course, as you discover more plants. So on this path, you are 100% a forever student. Some elements that I personally find important to consider when you're thinking about your training are herbal knowledge, of course. So looking at the materia medica, are you going to come out of this program understanding herbal energetics and formulary, different preparations, holistic diagnosis, patterning tools like tongue and pulse reading, doshas, tissue states, clinical protocol development, and clinical interview skills. And you're going to want a program that has opportunities for you to receive feedback and coaching on your formulary and your protocols. Of course, the sciences, anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology, chemistry, you're always going to be learning about the body and plants and solvents and extractions, but a program that gives you a good foundation on the body and how it moves into disharmony is super important. So check out this video on the 6 subjects I think every clinical herbalist must learn. Nutrition, food is medicine or it's poison. So much can be corrected when people make dietary changes, so you definitely need a working knowledge of this too. And then I'm big on what's happening in that internal conversation that's manifesting as physical disharmony. So the mind, body, spirit connection, everything is interconnected, and you need to be able to help people become more aware of that fact so that their health can improve truly holistically and from the inside out. Community, think about who are you learning from? Who are you learning with? Is this a conducive and supportive environment for your growth and your healing too? Do the teachers resonate with you? Because yes, you're learning from them, but also when we're learning herbalism, this is a healing space for us too. And then budget, gotta keep it real. This definitely matters. And you can pay very little to upwards to tens of thousands of dollars. The choice is yours. Just remember that you're investing in yourself and in your education. You can't choose wrong, and you're not going to get everything in one program. I can say that again. You are not going to get everything in one program. So the most important thing here is to understand what the program offers and think about if what they offer aligns with your curiosities, your interests, and what you want to learn and how you want to be an herbalist. Now, I will say that we've had a lot of people join Herbal Medicine for the Soul after being in other programs and feeling like they didn't gain the skills they needed to see clients. So please be sure to do your research, talk to your educator, talk to someone from the institution if you can. And if you're looking for a comprehensive herbalism program, consider Herbal Medicine for the Soul. It's a self-paced, lifetime online mentorship program where we are not only training future and aspiring herbalists and medical professionals on herbalism, but we're teaching you how to heal and break the cycles of chronic physical pains, mental illness, pills, side effects using herbalism, medical astrology, and the Calypso healing method. The link is below. Book a call with me if you'd like to find out if this program is your next right step. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.